tech school is crazy, but it's good to be here. Hey, guess what? It's Count Chocula. Nice to meet you again, man. Apparently, you wanted to go to fisticuffs, apparently, over this issue. Yeah, I can't even hear you. So apparently, not only does racism doesn't exist, Count Chocula's voice doesn't exist either. By the way, Cool Vic, it looks between him and me, we look like a black and white TV right now in front of you. But anyways, let's continue this right now.
Yeah.
There's no bird ASMR. I feel like I'm getting robbed right now. This is crazy.
Oh, you're going to get some bird ASMR. Don't worry about it. I was just setting my stuff up.
I don't hear it. You know, I'm black. I like fried chicken. I don't hear the birds in the background. You know what? I feel like I'm getting robbed here.
Okay, I know you want me to take my racism out of me, okay? I enjoy my racism, but this time,
wait, if I have to take the racism out of you, that means it existed, right? How can I take something out of you that doesn't existed?
Why are you I'll show you. I'll show you. Okay, listen, we haven't started the debate yet. You don't know the argument so far. You can attack my character all you want and my likings.
I know what the prompt is.
Yeah, you know what the prompt is, but we don't know. You don't know the argument yet.
So that's in reference to the prompt. I don't have to know your argument. That's continuing with the prompt because you said you're taking the racism out of me. How can I take something out of you that doesn't exist?
When we start the debate, you can tell me all about why racism is true.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay,
Cool, Vic,
it's a true statement, but meanwhile, I'm just gonna go ahead and enjoy it.
All right.
Where's my fried chicken, by the way? Oh, look. If I start losing,
wait,
hold on. Bring this up.
Oh, that looks good. I want some fried chicken. Anyway, Emmet wins because he's got the fried chicken. All right.
I got the fried chicken, baby.
That's not fair. Don't do that. People, please don't do that, man. That's unfair. That should be a disqualification right now. He's using kryptonite during this match.
Yeah, I know,
that's
right?
Not even true. Right.
That's true.
Emmet,
that shouldn't even be allowed.
Dirty, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
That's the KFC fried chicken fallacy right now already.
And we got the honey barbecue too.
Wow.
Woo. Sorry, man. This is crazy.
Damn. Shit.
Man, I need a cold shower after that. It's crazy, bro. Is it spicy though?
It's spicy. Yeah, of course it's spicy. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, he's Mexican. It has to be spicy.
Yeah. You know? We're talking about.
All right. So, did you guys want to do this, like, formally, just like give like little openers, like maybe 5-minute openers?
I'm sorry. I lost my composure for a second. I'm back. I promise. Please, Emmet, don't do that again. My knees buckled last time you did that with the chicken.
I will try not to do it again. I do want an opening statement. It can be 5 minutes. Do you think it's okay if we have a 5-minute
You're like
opening?
cheating already. I'm conceding half with the debate because you had the chicken already anyways. It's crazy, bro.
It is what it is. In my closing statement is gonna be the box of chicken. It's gonna be like, and this is why I know racism doesn't exist. It's the box of chicken.
Cool, Vic. Emmet wins. I can see it.
Right,
I can't take this anymore, Vic. I can't. I can't. I'm just the first time Martae ever concedes in a debate before it even started. This is crazy. You got it, Emmet. The concession. I'll give you the concession. This is. Oh man, I'm so weak right now in the knees. This is crazy.
Emmet with the early kryptonite,
Yeah.
So, all right. Yeah. So we could do 5-minute openers, and then I don't know how long you guys want to go. Like what? Like half an hour or so, or
yeah, we can do like half an hour or something like that. But that's bro, if you would have brought watermelon out, I would have lost it and probably would have just been like, you know what? Every debate you win after then, that would have been like a finisher, a fatality.
Yeah, I don't have any right now.
I dodged a bullet.
Yeah,
no grape juice, right? No grape drink.
No, not grape drink.
That was another close one. Okay, cool. I just wanted to check, man, because I was wow.
I haven't even had my coffee. Man, it's bro, like you're actually
Emmet.
Destroying me too. Okay, don't worry.
Emmet,
about
this
it.
is unfair, bro. Can I just tell you this right now? Like, I really don't like you because you're like literally cheating right now. This is crazy.
All right.
You have poultry behind you in a cage, and then you're showing me fried. You have the before and after. Like, I'm the weakest I've ever been in my life right now during a debate.
Don't worry, I was gonna destroy you anyway.
Oh
my god!
All right. let's get this started. All right. So
Achilles. Yeah, that would have finished me off, bro. That would have just destroyed. I would have just been, fatality.
I'll go first, Vic, since I am the affirmative in this, and I'll let Martae reply, since I don't think he has a complete grasp on what I'm going to be doing with my argument.
Well, I don't.
I recommend you to take notes, Martae. I didn't prepare it, so it's going to be a little bit not as formal as I would like it to be. But I'll go ahead.
You think mine's is for the moment 5 minutes? Of course.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it is what it is. The whole idea will come to the whole part. Well, we have twofold argument. The first one is going to be the first part of the argument is an attack on progressivism. So progressivism, what it has done is he has taken ideas and words and have given them power and created them as true statements while them being false. The biggest one of them all is racism. Racism creates this idea that creates the victim mentality, and it utilizes it so that we can control emotions of people, so that we can produce the kind of changes that they want in society. This is a lie. It has nothing to do with the amount of melanin in your skin. It has to do with most of the time what it has to do is the kind of culture and culture differences that different kind of tribes or people present themselves. This is an idea that we saw yesterday, explained a little bit by Easy. And what they've done is they created this false dichotomy instead of creating the idea that you have a cultural difference or problem between different tribes. What they're saying is just the skin color. The second part of the argument is a transcendental argument in which I can show and demonstrate that the idea of racism is false in and of themselves. In this case, as I said it in my post, the idea there is no way that something like hate has ontology. In fact, the grace of God is the only thing that will provide ontology. So love has ontology, hate has no ontology. It will be like light is a thing, darkness isn't. So if you have an action that is based on hate, or supposedly based on hate, it in and of itself, the action would be a lie, or would be based on a lie. So giving them a true value would be lying as well. Racism cannot be true, thus this is in fact so if you say that it is true, it would be a lie. The whole point of racism hasn't been a way to conduct ourselves towards having a better society, but a way to divide the society, and it's based on whatever they find that we have different, in this case skin color. Okay, when you talk about having the black and white water fountains, if I went to the south in those kind of ages and I try to drink from the black or the white water fountain, they would both tell me to fuck off because I'm Mexican and I have a weird fucking accent and talk like Count Chocula. In this case, it wasn't about the amount of racism or melanin that you have on your skin. It was about the cultural difference between those two groups and the fact that they were not able to patch it up until it was imposed by people, which, by the way, I don't disagree with. The whole idea of racism and the fact that you don't have any kind of ontology on it, it's just a way to show that this is a way from, I would say that it's a way from the devil to give words power so that people will come out and use them to create a worse overall societal status for all of us. That's it, Martae. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Emmet. I think the birds are attacking your dog back there. You might want to check out.
No. But, tell them to save the food for me. I don't share. Just tell the dog no, please.
Dog, no. Yeah, that's it.
Tell them the blackie on the screen needs to eat his fried chicken.
Okay. I'm not gonna say blackie, but I said my friend Martae wants to eat his chicken. Okay.
Oh, so what I said doesn't exist? Anyways, we can get into this.
All right, Martae.
Well, I like to refer to my friends as my friends instead of blackie. But you know what? Yeah. You got it, Martae. Blackie on the screen wants to eat his fried chicken with some watermelon and grape juice. Okay.
Oh man, you could say that twice. Oh, man, I feel like we're not even enemies at this point. That's awesome. Man, we're like brothers now. That's man, Ebony and I. Okay, anyways, all right, let's get back to this. All right,
all right, whenever you're ready, Martae.
It's funny because your opening statement, a lie can be true in one narrow sense, right? So the statement that you're saying is factually correct. Well, and me as a speaker could say like it intends to deceive. And let me see an example. So let's say that somebody says, is your wife home? Well, the answer is no. Well, which is literally true because she just stepped out to the mailbox. But you say it hoping that they'll think that she's gone for hours so that they'll leave. This happens all the time. I can say, well, she stepped out. She's not home right now, but she's going to come back in because she stepped out 5 minutes. Is that true? Does that exist? Yes, we can all agree that this is true, right? The sentence is true, but the communication is a lie. That's what I get from your opening statement. And this is something that you said already. That's the only way that a lie can simultaneously be true. Truth in words, deception in intent. And that's what this basically goes down to your opening statement. And this is what you said. Now you bring up ontology. So racism exists. So it doesn't need ontology to exist. So let's throw the ontology out of it because racism exists. And I can show you, demonstrate how it exists without the ontology. It exists as soon as a person or a group treats another person worse, simply because of perceived racial category membership. Does this exist without an ontology? Yes, it does. That worse treatment is systematic enough or frequent enough to produce like some measurable harm, Emmet, I'd say, or some kind of disadvantage that we'd see. So this happens all the time. Like when you said the whites only water fountain happens, that's it. You don't need a coherent theory of race for this, which you can dive deep into. You don't need an agreement on whether races are biologically real or anything like that. You don't need like a philosophical commitment to racial essences or any of this stuff or any explicit ontology at all. This can exist absent any of this. All you need, Emmet, to be honest with you, is a social category. However, like if this is arbitrary or invented, right? A belief. However, how vague it is, which is what Speakeasy tried to do last night, is make the muddy water even muddier. So it doesn't mean that the category isn't meaningful at all. So here's the thing, though. Differential treatment based on that category says that it can exist regardless of ontology, no matter what. Everybody in the chat can agree with this. It doesn't have a physical structure or anything like this. And I've also demonstrated how people can believe a lie to be true and they can act on this. Therefore, that exists. We can see this as I've given you the example of my wife leaving home and saying she just stepped out to the mailbox, things like this. So here's the thing, though. We can look at this like, what are examples of ontology? Like the Nuremberg laws, right? Grandparental ancestry, the tables. There's no deep racial philosophy required for this. I mean, for some reason, that still exists no matter what. So like the one drop rule in the US, like any known African is automatically black no matter what. If you have like 1% of black in you, you can say you're black. There's no ontology needed for this. Like, so if you think about this, it's like in each of these cases, the category was largely this is administrated on a populace through power, serving, rather than some philosophical, sophisticated thing that you're going to go on, some nuance in saying this is transcendental. Yet the racism was extremely real and deadly. This happened in Selma down south, which I brought up last time. Anyways, racism first is like behavioral and a social related phenomenon no matter what. That also doesn't require ontology as well, too. Ontology comes later. And that's if at all it ever comes. This is like post hoc justification, or something an academic might even cite. All the ontology that you're talking about can be mapped onto it, but it can exist without the ontology. So the harm doesn't wait for the philosophers to finish arguing whether or not race has an essence or not. Harm doesn't wait for this. We don't say, okay, we're going to wait for the essence to appear magically, for some ontology to appear. No, it happens. And then we figure it out later. So anyways, that's my opening statement, and I'm ready to dive into this argument.
All right. Thank you very much, Martae. All right, let me get this timer started, and then we'll roll. All right, guys, let's do this.
Okay.
Yeah, Emmet. So when you say that this isn't real, I don't understand this. Like it's not real, but is a belief real? Is a belief system real? As far as like they affirm this to be true to themselves.
Well, we have to define real first. Are you talking about material reality, or are you talking about the transcendental
No,
category?
like even like the fact that this is a construct. Do you agree that this is a construct, doesn't exist absent the mind?
I would say that it's a false construct, and as a false construct,
whether or not it's false or not,
so it doesn't.
Does that exist in the mind to somebody? Right? Do these thoughts exist?
Oh, in the mind, yeah, but you can have false things exist in the mind. I agree with that.
Okay,
but
so if they're false things, they do exist. Okay, so we agree.
Wait a second. Yeah, before that, you said that it can be simultaneously true and false, right?
No, I said that can be. That's one of like the narrow examples of how a lie can be true.
Okay, so a lie can. Do you understand that by saying a lie can be true, you are doing when it comes to the logical statement, you will be saying, you will be, it's the first law, the law of identity. You would be denying the law of identity in the other statement, right?
Well, no, what I made a distinction is I said the statement's factually correct, but the speaker intends to deceive, right? So here's the thing, though. What I'm saying that
it would be the other way around.
Is in the words, but the communication is a lie. So the sentence is true, but the communication is a lie.
But what if the sentence is false?
Then that changes everything. But in this case, the sentence is true, the communication is a lie.
How can the sentence be true and the communication be a lie?
The sentence is true because she's not home.
Uh-huh.
Is she home? She's going to get the mailbox 5 feet away. Is she in the home?
She's not in the house, but she is in the home. You're still in the home.
But is the communication a lie? Meaning she's not around.
Yeah, she would be lying. She would be at home.
You see how that works?
She would be lying. No. Because the home is not only the house, right? The property around it too. Yes,
when people say home, they think in the house. Do you think when people say they're not home right now, otherwise they can say they're not around? Those are two different things, right?
It would depend on how big the house is, right?
Wait, what? When did size come into this? Nobody mentioned size.
If I have a big house and I have a farm,
what if it's a small house?
Let's say I have a farm and I say I'm home, but I'm in the fields, I'm still home, right?
Yeah, but home is a variable. We can say that's. But do you understand that the sentence still can be true?
The whole point, the whole you're doing is this is kind of a
sentence still can be true, right? They're not home, and I can mean my house. That can be true, right?
In that case, like you're narrowing the spectrum of the thing.
Said it was
if you are narrowing they wouldn't be lying. No, so if you say home means house and they say I'm not home and they are outside, that means they're not home. So they wouldn't be lying.
So here's the thing though, they're not in my home.
Yeah, they're not.
But when I say that they're not home, the communication's a lie, but the sentence is true, right?
No, the communication is still true. They're not home.
It's not true because I'm hoping that the telemarketer or whoever else is going to solicit isn't going to come by at this time to try to sell me doorknobs or something crazy like that. No, my wife's not home. Yeah, hold on. And I'm like talking to my wife through the window. She's not home because she's not in the home. This happens all the time. How am I not correct?
You're not lying. She's not home. Yeah, she's not home. Yeah, she's not home. Okay, she's outside. Maybe 5 feet, 10 feet, 100
you know what
feet.
You just did right there? You said, well, home could also be a field, but you understand how the communication's a lie now?
No, they don't. You're saying that they're lying. It's not a lie. And you're not trying to deceive them. They are not home.
No, I didn't say that that's a lie. What did I say? Because I gave you two different
You literally said that if home means house. If home means house, in this specific, they're out of the house, they're not in the home. You're not deceiving, you're telling the truth. Now, let's move on to systematic. Yeah.
I'm not deceiving the person that's a solicitor by telling them my wife isn't home when she's literally 5 feet away from the door.
If your definition of home is house, no.
To this right now, have you ever evaded a telemarketer by saying something like that to try to deceive people? Is that truth to you in communication to telemarketers?
If I'm not home and I say, hey, I'm not home, I'm busy, let's be I'm 5 feet away of my house and I define home as the house, I can say that because that's my definition. I wouldn't be lying if I say my home is my house.
Yeah, the sentence
there
is
you
true.
go.
You're right. You're not lying in the sentence, but is the communication true?
The communication is true. I'm not in the home.
Do you understand the nuance of what I'm getting to the context, right? What I'm getting
If
at.
you're
missing this.
remember that you said that the home means house. If I said I'm not home because I'm not in the house, that's not a lie. Do you agree with that?
Sorry, I'm distracted because you brought chicken to a black debate. This is insane, by the way. Sorry. Sorry, it's hard for me to resist. Okay. I'm going to try to focus on the not
home in the life means house.
In the background.
If home means house, okay, home means house, and I am not home. Even if I'm 5 feet away, would it be a lie to say I'm not in my home?
So that's true, right? That's true, right?
That's true.
So was I communicating truth to a telemarketer when I say she's not home? Was the communication truth? Was I being truthful in communicating this to her? To the telemarketer?
Yeah. She's not home. No, the moment she comes back in the house, she will be home, right?
Emmet, was my intent to deceive the telemarketer?
What if he asked, well, when will she be back?
No, there was no ask. Let's keep it simple.
So he just goes, it's not home, and hangs up. I don't know what kind of telemarketers you have, but I want some of those.
The doorknob solicitor. Was my intent to deceive the doorknob solicitor?
If it's a doorknob solicitor, she will be talking to your wife that is 5 feet outside your home.
No, he calls me on the phone. I say, hey, you know what? She's not home right now. She's literally 2 steps from getting into the home.
Yeah, and then he goes, oh my God, I can't sell anything anymore. Oh, yes, I want that solicitor. Please send it to me.
Is my intent to deceive the telemarketer? Right.
No, your intent is to tell him that your wife is not at home. And you said that home is house and she's outside.
Hey guys, if we could just pause real quick. I think we're getting too far off a little bit. So originally this whole thing,
this is crazy.
So this whole thing thinks. Oh, go ahead, Emmet.
Okay. Yeah.
Can we get back to the title? Because we can throw transcendental arguments out of this because it exists.
I just don't understand how can you say that lies are true. It's like complete contradiction. Let's go with this. Let's go with systematic.
It never came out of my mouth. What I said is there's a distinction. The sentence is true that I made. The statement I made is true, but the communication is a lie.
Yeah, but I don't have an actual
different things, right?
I get it, but I don't see how exactly that happened in this communication. You said something true. You use a little bit of wiggle room in your communication to say the solicitor fuck off by not being so mean. Now, systematic, which is the thing that I would like to go for, because you use a lefty terminology. Oh, when they're being so mean because I have a darky tone and they use systematic. Can you tell me what kind of
lefty terminology?
You use systematic. Yes, you use that.
I just told you that I have a weakness for fried chicken. What are you talking about?
Well, I know that we put fried chicken just because you like it so much and we want you to work. It's like, hey, how can we make these blackies work a little bit, and we use it with chicken. But that's not the point of the debate. When you use something like systematic, can you tell me which system is used right now, or even in the past, in which the black man was kept down just because of the melanin content?
Okay, so what is DEI? DEI is one of those things where it's
but that would be that. Yeah, DEI works in your favor, not against you.
Yeah,
right?
That would be racist towards white men. Yes.
Okay, but that would be
how racism exists even against whites.
Okay, so now you're saying that. Would you agree that this is a white nation still?
Yeah, I would agree that this is a white nation. Do you think racists still can exist in a majority of people?
I think racism is just a lefty terminology that has been used to institute this kind of discrimination against people based on immutable characteristics, and it has to do with tribalism. It has
can you answer the question
with that? Yeah.
Do you think it exists in a majority of people? Because that didn't answer the question.
I don't know what you mean by in a majority of people.
So let's say that I have all whites. I have all whites, and they're like maybe let's say I'm what is the movie with Denzel? And I'm like one of the last blacks in the nation, and they're like, we're gonna let Martae just dominate all these white men or in women, in people of opposite color in job markets, in opportunities, scale, structure, everything else like that. And they're like, you know what? Not only this, but he's going to have superiority in selection, bias, and everything else. And they just give it to me. Would racism exist?
No, that would be a bunch of self-hating whiteys. Probably a bunch of Karens in that specific culture.
Why it wouldn't exist though? Why wouldn't racism exist?
Because it's not about the color, right? It's not about the color of the person. It would be about something specific.
I'm the only black person, and the only reason why they're doing this is because I'm black.
I know. No, that wouldn't make any sense. I would need to have an actual reason of why is this happening.
It's
is it because is it a belief system that is wrong, for example, that they think that having a little bit of melanin makes you a disciple of Yeshua? Or it need not. I need that you are adding a lot of presuppositions in the argumentation that need to be able to understand. Yes, but the hypothetical is
chocolate before this debate.
I would probably have eaten eggs because that's the way that I eat. So
you can't. Thank you for answering that.
Kidding you.
Everything I needed to know. Matter of fact, so anyway, moving forward. I'm so glad that exists. So I got the answer I needed to.
Yeah,
Thank you, Emmet. I appreciate that.
I know.
But I actually expected to. Actually, this is crazy. So
when I eat a count chocolate, I would need to do 1 tricky, 2 tricky, 3 tricky, 4 tricky. Okay, that's how I eat.
All right, now you're seducing my food back there. Please don't do that. So the book of Eli happened in this hypothetical. I'm like one of the last black men standing in the white community, who's the last vestige of humanity, says, you know what? We're only doing this because you're black, and it's only
we're doing this because of the book.
Racism. Hold on, can I finish this though? And they say we're only doing this because you're black. Does racism exist then?
You're making that presupposition. He is not valuable.
Presuppositions.
He is not valuable because of the amount of melanin. It's because he has the knowledge of the Bible, right? That is his value.
Nobody brought up the Bible. Nobody brought anything. We're talking about. They're saying that you
said the book of Eli
only because you're black. Why are you bringing up other things I didn't ask? That's crazy.
Would presuppose I don't value melanin, so I don't think that the amount of melanin of this person gives them any kind of value. I think that is a logical impossibility. I think it's dumb, and it's like saying, well, what if everybody in the world was completely retarded and they thought a little bit of melanin made you superior? I would be like, this world is completely dumb and makes no sense. Okay, so I'm rejecting the hypothetical as a hypothetical.
Right? Do you understand hypotheticals can be made out of fiction, right?
Yes, but I can reject hypotheticals too,
logic, right? So when I'm testing your logic, you're saying I refuse to engage with this. Can you at least engage with this in good faith?
I am engaging. The engagement is I'm rejecting it because it makes no sense. The logic behind it is false in a way that it makes it completely that it gives an answer to a question that makes no sense.
If I tell you water is oxygen and oxygen's water, that wouldn't make sense to anybody else, and we'd say that we can split these neutrons apart, and all of a sudden everybody breathes water now, and oxygen's at the bottom. People just float. Fish just float in air now. That doesn't make sense, but you can still engage in that. Right?
No. Can you make a hypothetical where you say water doesn't exist? And let me put it this way: can you make a hypothetical that says, "I have fish, and the fish"? Can you make a hypothetical where it say, "There's no water, but I have fish"?
Yeah. I'll engage in this fictional.
No, you can't, because fish require water to exist.
Yeah, they do, but in your hypothetical, in this fictional reality that you made up, I can still engage in this.
No, because they make no sense. They wouldn't be able to exist because they need water to exist.
Hypotheticals are just tests, right? You understand that, right?
It's illogical. It's illogical. It's illogical.
So if
hypotheticals still need to be logically possible.
So Emmet, if I make a logical hypothetical, can a person still engage in an illogical hypothetical?
No, I wouldn't say that. I would think that it depends on the hypothetical. But
so now
the hypothetical that I'm making, the hypothetical that I was making, for example, it makes no logical sense. Logically, in both cases, okay. So it's logically impossible to have a fish without water, and it's logically unsound to have a fish without water. So you cannot engage with it.
So there's a species of fish that walks on land. It actually has legs that are fins. So I can engage in a hypothetical by even using real examples. What you're saying
because it wouldn't exist. Do you understand? Do you understand that fish wouldn't exist? Like that fish is a specific case, and most of its life, it's in.
I can make up, like, let's say there was a fish that had bioengineered electric arms and it was buff, and we gave it like some Terminator technology, which doesn't exist. Somebody can still engage in this hypothetical. You realize that, right?
Would that be a fish?
Would it be? Oh, see, you're engaging in this right now. Thank you.
So you're changing the ontology. You're changing the ontology of the fish. Yeah, you're changing the whole ontology of the fish, and now you're saying, "No, if I change everything about the fish and it's not a fish anymore, now can I engage with it?" Well, Vic, maybe, but it wouldn't be a fish.
In this hypothetical that's fictitious, that doesn't exist right now. This is crazy. Yeah,
it's very interesting that you would say something like that, because once again we're going back to ontology.
You're engaging in a in a fictional hypothetical right now.
No, I'm not engaging on it. I'm saying I'm actually questioning it. I'm saying, like, what kind of thing are we talking about? Is that even a fish anymore? Like, I cannot even engage with these hypothetical because I don't know what you're talking about.
You're saying, so hold on. You're saying what kind of fish it is and all this. You're saying I can't engage with the hypothetical.
No, I didn't say what kind of fish it would be. I said, would that be a fish?
I feel like I'm saying the Emmet song right now because I have to say your name a couple times for you to stop.
Emmet.
So, Emmet, you're saying I can't engage with the hypothetical while you're in the middle of engaging with this hypothetical. You realize what you're doing right now?
No, I'm asking on the premises of the hypothetical. So
that's engaging with the hypothetical.
Let me put it this way: if I say,
guys,
let's get back to the prompt, though.
How about instead maybe Martae pick a different hypothetical? Maybe like choose a different one that Emmet could.
Yeah, I'll pick a different one. I'll pick a different one. Let's say we live in a nation that's 60% white, and then 40% black. Okay. Like this panel right now. So, anyways, or I'm assuming, I don't want to assume you're whatever the moderators.
Everybody, everything is black because I can just say that I'm black and it's fine. I self-identify. I'm trans black too. Anyway, go on.
Like, I don't know if Vic likes potato salad or tacos, but I don't want to assume that and be rude.
I do. I do like tacos, but go ahead, Martae.
Okay, thank you for telling me what your food gender is, if that's even a thing. I'm just making shit up right now. But anyways, getting back to this, I'll give you a hypothetical. So 60% of the nation is Caucasian, and then 40% of the nation is identifies as African American, and we have DEI. And in this DEI, the majority of the nation is white. But now we have a systematic approach called this diverse equity, whatever that means. I forget what the acronym for DEI. We all know what it means, right?
Diversity, equity, inclusion.
Yeah, inclusion. We have this inclusive program that's happening, and now blacks got a leg up over white males. No matter what happens, we'll always be hired on the basis of our color, no matter what. And we've had slogans, right? There's sloganeering happening. Yeah. They're saying black is in, white is out. If anybody is in the job force, they're going to get hired over you specifically because of your race. Is that racist? In this hypothetical, they're saying specifically because of your race.
I wouldn't. Okay, let's go ahead and ask about race. Okay, so it's only about the skin color.
With a question?
Yes, I'm gonna ask a clarifying question for your hypothetical. So I need to clarify it a little bit. Is this only about the amount of melanin in your skin?
No, it's about what people perceive. They see you as black, and then they're like, okay, only black people.
Okay, so if I'm Eminem and I go in and talk like Eminem, no, I can't do it because I'm not black enough. I have my own problems. If I start talking
Eminem
like a
probably
black,
drink out of the whites only fountain back then and probably never get lynched, but I probably couldn't. Let's use that standard. We have two eyes to see,
once again, it's just about the amount of melanin on your skin. Then is that the thing that's going to be deciding?
Reality, if this guy looks black, according to the majority of the populace, he's going to get a leg up on the competition when it comes to hiring quota standards, things like this.
Okay.
Is that racist?
Is there the second thing that I want to ask, is there anything in this culture that brought it to this point? Like any history, any kind of movement, any kind of thing that got it to this place?
In this hypothetical, it doesn't matter. We're at this point right now. Is it racist?
As in the definition of that we have right now, that would be perceived as racist. But I don't think it's possible to get there. I don't think it's possible to get there.
You just conceded the whole thing. But anyways, we'll continue though.
No, I concede the hypothetical. I concede that in your hypothetical it is the case, but I don't think it's possible.
You know, when you concede to the hypothetical, this is like a concession too, right? It's part and parcel with this.
Well, I have to agree to every single part of the hypothetical and agree with the presuppositions of it.
You don't
so
have
in the presuppositions that you are putting out is like it doesn't matter. Well, I would say that the point of the hypothetical and the reason why you don't want to engage with the presuppositions and you'll be having trouble with the whole presuppositions is that if we go through the history of it, we will find that it's tribalistic and it's culture based and it has nothing to do with the melanin. It's just a way in which lefties that the leftists that we hate have gone into your brain to tell you, look, you have much melanin, and that's the only reason why you're being oppressed or propped up. But in reality, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the culture that we're living in, and it has to do with the actual problems that we have in our society and the lies that we have bought in. That is the big issue. So racism is a lie that we have bought in.
So this racism that only exists in the mind, it exists in this belief system that is now being put on other people through action and using the force as far as like the state mechanism, like law enforcement is enforcing this and all this. Do you realize that all of this comes to fruition through the state arm of the force? When we talk about this, it's like even feminism does the same thing. They'll say, this guy raped me. I don't like men. Women use this all the time. Therefore, it's like the whole thing with Speakeasy last night. Feminists don't exist because it doesn't exist outside of the mind. However, when we have force behind this that enforces this mechanism, that's the real part I'm talking about. Does racism exist even though it belongs in the mind, right? Or it doesn't exist absent the mind? Do people act out of racist ideals by saying, I hate this person because he's black? Do people ever say that?
Would you call that corruption?
All right. You want me to answer your question, but not answer mine, or?
Like, I understand what you're saying. What you're saying is, well, this thing exists in the mind.
You didn't answer the question.
I get that you say, well, this exists in the mind, and you have the representation of it in the force of the state. But I would call that a corrupting force on the state, and the corrupting force is because we're believing something that is not true, which is something that has not an ontology. And the problem that we see with this kind of thing is like, yes, we can use force for anything we want in a sense. Okay, force doesn't make right; it just makes. And the thing that you're saying is, hey, this thing is this thing that has no ontology and is this thing that is fine, we can do that. This thing that has no ontology and is corrupting our system. Okay, which is getting away from what would be correct or that has a proper ontology. That is what we will be doing. That is what we are doing. We are corrupting the system.
So this is a really false premise right now. You're saying that something exists because something that doesn't exist can't corrupt the system. Something has to do, like nothing can come from, like something can't just come from nothing, right? We can all agree on this. We're not atheists here on the panel. But here's the question that I wanted to ask. Have you ever heard anybody say, I don't like them because they're black?
No.
Do you think people ever said that throughout human history? You think one person said that?
I can tell you this, okay? If you go ahead and look at the favelas in Mexico and you take a look at the amount of crime in Chicago with the Crips and all of that shit.
We're going to go to favelas. Let's do it then, I guess.
I'm giving you an example. I'm giving you an example as to why I don't believe that it has to do with the melanin. So what they're saying when they're using as an identifier is a word concept fallacy. It's not because of the amount of melanin in their skin. They're saying, I hate this culture. I hate what they are representing in their tribal sense. So when I go into Sinaloa, Mexico, and I see the amount of crime and the way that they act, okay, and the way that they're doing their tribalistic stuff and the way they represent themselves, and I compare them to the blacks in Chicago with the Crips and whatever, they are exactly the same thing to me. They are representations of things that I fucking hate. And I can say, I dislike Sinaloans, okay? It doesn't mean every person in Sinaloa, which is a big state in Mexico. It just means I hate the people in the cartels, and I would say the same thing about the black people. It's like, oh, I hate the blacks. It's not about every single black person. They're talking about the specific representation that they have as a tribe when it comes to their culture. So I don't hate you, Martae, because you're black, because you have a different kind of thing. But I can say, man, I fucking hate this black person that is over here. And what I'm referring to is about their culture.
None of that answered my question at all, Emmet. You realize that, right?
Do you realize that when we're talking about different concepts, right? You think about saying, hey, I hate blacks means I hate the amount of melanin. And when I say I hate blacks, I'm referring to the culture, right? So we're using different concepts in this specific case.
Emmet, in this whole debate, do you only want me to answer questions? Because we can just do that. I don't have to ask any questions. Would that be a cool debate?
You can ask the question. I'm answering your question.
I mean, I know I can, but would you answer? Like,
you ask me, hey, did you ever hear someone say, I hate blacks? And I said, no. And then I gave you a full explanation as to what do I mean.
So then I said, do you think anybody has ever said that in the history of the United States?
Yes. And then I explained to you that why.
No, you didn't say yes. You went on the
I think
with a different country.
Yes. No. So, I gave you the explanation, and I gave you a relationship status. So what I'm saying is, it's not that they saying I hate black because the amount of melanin. What they're referring to is to the culture and the basic representation of things.
Hold on, stop. So when you're shotgunning points right here, can I at least do 1 point at a time, Emmet?
Yeah. Okay.
Because you like hit me with 5 points. Can we do let's slow this down a little bit?
Let's go.
Quick. So when you say that people are doing this, here's the problem with this. So tribalism is a category in racism, subcategory within tribalism, no matter what. So it's like tribalism and racism are two different things. Eminem would be accused of cultural appropriation, would he not?
I don't think he has been, no.
I mean, he has been.
I don't know enough about Eminem.
Told him the same thing too. So it's like,
oh, what happened? Sorry, I lost my sound.
Yeah, he's been hit with the whole, oh, you think you're black thing or whatever. He's been kind of like, so he's went through like the trenches when it came to like accused of being the person that culturally appropriates black culture all the time and things like this. That exists. But here's the thing though. When I asked you a question, right? Is like, do you think, because the prompt of this whole debate, I'm assuming, is that racist people don't exist.
Racism, I would say racism doesn't exist. Martae, you're muted. You're muted, Martae.
Yeah, Martae. Yeah, your sound went out.
You're still muted. I think you're muted from.
Okay, I think it went out. Okay, I think it's because my computer, my laptop doesn't want me to ask questions. It just wants me to answer. So here's the thing though. I will say this though. When I asked you for something like, do you think anybody has ever uttered this? You glossed over this. Vic, I know you're moderating, but Vic, I know you heard him say yes, but you notice how quickly my detractor is saying, yes, but let's get away. Because the reason why he wants to say yes and then get right back to the favelas and go outside the U.S. when I'm talking about mainly the United States and then bounce around is because of the yes. Let's focus on the yes real quick because I just caught that. Yes proves the whole debate. When you said, yes, people have done this. Now let's focus on that part because we're doing 1 point at a time. Why do you think people have said yes without asserting your own premonitions of why? If they specifically say only because he's black, because that's what I said, I curated my language perfectly to where I can just say this specifically. They're saying only because he's black.
All right, can I answer that?
Anything else, not because of their culture, nothing else, but only because of what I see. Is that racist?
Okay, so when they say, I have said this only because he's black, okay, the word itself is a referent and it refers to the culture, okay, of that person. It's not referring to the amount of melanin on their skin. What they're saying is, I hate this person because this is what their tribe represents. So and this is the kind of cultural things they do.
Or even in history, do you think people have sat there and explained
the word? The word says that. The word.
What word?
Black.
So black says all this?
Black says black is a ref. Black is a You're doing a word concept fallacy. You think black only means.
Can I ask you a question? What do you mean by the word? How do you get to the word says all this? The word black says all this.
The word. This is why you're doing a word concept fallacy. You think black only means the skin color, but in reality, what it does
is said it only means skin color.
Wait. It's a referent. Okay, they are saying this person has this correct. Yeah, this person that has this characteristic. Okay, this characteristic is pointing to this cultural reference. That is what they're doing. They're pointing to the cultural reference, to the tribal, to the tribal characteristic. So let me put it. Wait. Let me put it this way. Maybe this will help. When the blood and the crepes, are those correct?
Yeah. Can we stick to race real quick before we get to that?
Yeah. But I'm gonna show you how it works this way. So
you're gonna use something that's not race to point out why race.
No, let's say that somebody goes in and sees somebody in red, and they go ahead and they say we're gonna delete you just because you're wearing red, because that reminds me of because you're wearing red. Okay,
that's not
and this
racism.
Wait, and this part is specifically known because of the violence between the Bloods and the Crips. What do you think that only because you're wearing red means?
That's not racism. That's like another conversation about just that's actually purely colorism then.
He's wearing red, okay? He goes into this area. You're gonna delete him just because he's wearing red. This is a specific area where the Crips and the Bloods have their feud. What do you think we're gonna delete you just because you're wearing red means?
Because he doesn't like the color red.
It's because he's a blood. It's because he's a blood. It's because
my
the
brother
go in and they're...
I literally have a brother that's a Lindo Park Crip that'll tell you it's not because he's blood. It's because I hate the color red and all this other stuff. That may be part and parcel with that, but do you think two things can be true? Do you think it could be also because he's a blood?
It's because the cultural referent of the blood, right? Because they are saying, hey, you're wearing red, that means you belong to the Bloods because you are doing all of these things that I hate. That's the whole point. So when they're saying, when we're going back to race, when they're saying it's because of your black, it's because you have black skin, they're doing the reference to the culture. It's referencing the cultural aspects.
Do you think that that two things can be true with racism? Do you think that they can hate my color and also, so you think people can't hate because of a color?
No, I don't think people hate colors.
So if you see the pamphlet from the KKK and they show you this pamphlet and it says anybody with a black complexion, you kill on sight. They had sundown towns in Georgia. We had a green book where blacks could travel. This is black, by the way, but there was a green book where people had, I don't know if you know about sundown towns. They literally looked at this book and said, if the sun goes down and you are black, you are to remove yourself from the town. Otherwise you will die. Because if you didn't fit this, it didn't matter what your color was or your culture was. Because let's say if you grew up around rednecks and you're black and you had a different culture and you only grew up around, you're adopted black from a white family. It didn't matter what this was. If you got caught in a sundown town, they don't care about your culture. They don't care about anything else. They're only doing this because of what they see. Do you think
it's a reference, right? Because it's a referent, right? What they're saying is, look, this thing refers to this thing. So what they're saying is, your skin color refers to the culture that I don't like and I hate. And there's probably a long history of why that is the case. Okay, it's not just because. It's not that just because the thing. There is probably a reference in that.
Emmet, do you think people can hate for no reason? Do you think people are idiots? Do you think idiots really exist in real life that can hate for no reason? They just don't like you because they don't have a reason? Do you think that can exist?
No, I think there is. I think there's usually a reason. Yeah.
Well, in the Bible, it says they hate him without reason. They were talking about Jesus.
Yeah, I know. We're talking about Jesus. The whole point of it is that they don't have. What they're saying that specifically is that they don't have any valid reason. The reason why they hate him, okay?
Oh, so they don't have a reason.
No, the Pharisees specifically, when Jesus goes in, when Jesus goes in and teach, and he's teaching them, and he's refuting their arguments, the reason why they hate him is because Jesus Christ in their eyes is inflicting over their arrogance. Okay, they think they are the ones that hold the knowledge, and then God comes in and tells you don't. The reason why they hate him, okay, they have no other reason but their own arrogance. That's the point of the passage.
It just means their reason isn't valid, which means they don't have a reason. There is no reason. Yeah, they don't have.
It's
they
invalid.
Hate without a reason.
They have a reason. The reason is they hate him because
people back to modern day culture.
It is an invalid reason, but it is a reason. The why is implied. The why is I am arrogant and I thought I had the knowledge, but then this person comes and
arrogance. And let me see your demonstration of arrogance from some culture you don't even know. Can you assume that?
Yeah, of course I can. They were the ones who hold the knowledge, right?
Which means you don't know. It's an assumption. Our assumption is always
no. It's actually true. It's something. It's written. It's known.
Wait, they only do this because they're arrogant? That's the only motivation?
The reason why he gets skill is because and the reason why Jesus Christ
because they're arrogant.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons.
Oh, so there
it's probably the most reasons.
Okay, do you think so? From Jesus' time?
No, wait. You're going all over the place. We're talking about why the passage is saying that they hate him. Okay, the why is saying they have no valid reason. There's no true reason why they would be hating him. Okay, it's only their own arrogance because they feel attacked in their knowledge, in their supposed knowledge that they didn't actually have. Okay, that is the point. He goes in, he's correcting them, and then they go ahead and they hate him just because of their own arrogance, not because they have a valid point. What you're saying
is, trust me, bro. All this is like,
no, I'm not saying trust me, bro. Go to your priest. Okay, first of all, it's not about me. You want to know about scripture? You know where to go.
No,
don't come to me with scripture.
So going back to modern day man, you're saying that normal people in 2026 are racist. And they have to have a reason. I'm supposed to trust you?
There is a reason for it, and it's because they have bought into the lie that there is such thing as racism.
You know what they're thinking, Emmet? You know exactly what they're thinking. What's going on in their head when they say this?
Yeah, of course. What are you talking about?
You do. You do know what's going on in their head. That's
yeah. Is it possible to know what people think? Do you think so?
It's you wouldn't know unless you get like indicators, verbiage from people, a confession. That's why confessions are important in criminal court cases, things like this. Yeah.
Let's say that I tell you. Let's say.
Let me put it this way. Let me put what's going on in the mind of other people's heads. While telling me, you can. You can actually get an idea of what people are thinking. If I come to you and I have a blue hair and I have a septum ring and I say free Panelstein, okay, what do you think? What kind of thing do you believe I'm thinking at that moment? Okay, what kind of person am I? I'm great. I'm glad you asked that. What's an assumption, Emmet?
You think I have blue hair and I have a Destiny T-shirt. I say free Panelstein. Okay, I have my septum ring. Am I a big what kind of am I a conservative? What kind of conservative am I, Martae?
Let's say this person has a Destiny shirt on. They have a bullnose ring and purple hair, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Even if I just say, "Oh, that's a liberal," this and that, am I making an assumption still?
No, that wouldn't be an assumption. Imagine this. I go to talk to that person. Do I
absolutely know why they got the shirt or what their motive purely was behind getting all this stuff? Do I know?
Yes.
I know what the motive is.
Yeah, of course. What is the motive? The motive is they want to support Destiny. They are a big fat liberal with the blue hair. They have a septum ring. It's like, hey, get away from me. Well, in my case, I'm some kind of cock. But if I was a girl, it would be like, I will destroy your life. Okay. And then if I have my free Panelstein thing, it's probably that is even worse. Like whole thing tells you I'm a big fat fucking liberal, okay? And I believe all these things because that's the way that I'm representing myself. Okay, that is what it says. And it's a way, you say it's an identifier. Yes, it's an identifier. When I talk to atheists, for example, I can tell that all of them use moral claims. All of the time.
Absent any of these words, does any of what they're displaying confirm their beliefs that are going on in their head without them saying anything?
That's what communication is, right? You're trying to communicate what you have in your head.
So if I see how somebody's dressed, I know what's going on in their head?
It depends on the dress. It can be the case, yes.
That's crazy.
Let me put it away. It's very simple. If I'm dressed completely in black, okay, completely in black, and I have a black ribbon here, and I'm kind of looking a little bit down. What does that communicate?
I don't know. The person
that someone died in my family.
Hold on. That's a good example. Matter of fact, Gomez Adams.
I'm sad because my mom died, maybe.
Hold on. Gomez Adams was the happiest husband you've ever seen in your life. But when you saw him, things looked dreadful all the time. And even Lurch was like, yay, I'm very happy. He wore all black, but yeah, it's the best day of my life. Would you believe him?
Of course not. Because he's communicating the opposite, right?
Okay, you're going to tell Lurch he's a liar? When that's their daily lived existence is black, drab dress all the time, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm very happy."
Black drab dress with a little tie bow in black here, and oh yeah, this is the best day of my life. My mom just died. I loved it. It's amazing. You know what? So I loved it. Yeah, of course I'm gonna believe him when he says that.
Seen the Addams Family, so you're missing the reference. So Eeyore's like, "Pooh."
You know that the Addams Family is making fun of that kind of thing, so we're just making
because he was like, "Yeah, Pooh, let's have some adventures today." Do you think he was just a very sad person every single day?
Do you think the Addams Family is real besides my family?
The Addams Family could be hypothetical. You look like you're one of the Addams Family members, by the way, too. But
I agree. That's why I said besides my family. So the whole point.
Look like Uncle. You look like the Dracula guy. I forgot his name, but you look just.
It's just
Eddie. Well, it's not Eddie Munster. I forgot who the guy was. But anyways, back to this. The Addams Family was a very happy family. That if you were to see them sight unseen, I mean, just on site, wearing black every day, in their looks, they never smiled. And you'd be like, that's the most depressed family ever, when really the existence is the happiest. They love torture. They love doing these medieval devices and stuff. They love pain. But you're going to tell them that you know what's going on in their head and say that's a depressed family?
Yeah, I will. So you know why? Because there is an ontology of being, and that would be against the ontology of being. It's like, I love to be hang out and flayed and crucified. It's the best day of my life. It's like, no, you need to go to the fucking hospital for a little bit, dude. We need to open the mental asylums back. Okay, that's exactly what you're telling me that we should do, and I agree with you. Open the mental asylums, make mental asylums great again. That is what I'm getting out of this. Okay. The whole point of this is there is an identifier. Like, let's go back to race, because I'm tired of talking about my family. So let's go back to race. When we're talking about race, and when they say I hate the black, okay, you're not talking about the amount of melanin. You are talking about the identifier. You're talking about the culture. You're talking about the tribe.
Emmet, like Pumpkinhead said, they're spooky, but they're a happy family. They literally said this. What you've said in a nutshell is like, by the way somebody dresses, I can assume what they're thinking in their head. Do you realize how nonsensical that sounds?
Yeah, if I go into a bridge and I put myself right in the middle of it, and then somebody's like, "Don't jump," and I said, "Oh, this is the happiest day of my life. I would never." And then I jump. It's like, no, my God, what a surprise! I would never seen that coming.
Something different. I'm talking about dress. You just told me that by the way that they dress and their expression, you know what's going on in their head. That's crazy. Yeah,
I told you that can be the case. It depends on the communication of the dress, of course. If I am dressing, I gave you an example. If I am dressing all in black and I have a black ribbon next to my heart, okay, and I'm like, yeah, this is the best day of my life. Something fucking wrong with me, because that identifies that somebody died in my family.
No,
okay, that is what it means.
I'm not. Emmet, are you clairvoyant?
No, I'm just not retarded.
Then how would you know that? How did you know what's going on in their head, absent them telling you?
Because we have a culture, and the culture has identifiers, and the way that we dress have different ways of saying how we are, what we do.
So you know what's going on. If I dress in somebody's head before they're telling you anything.
If I dress in a suit and I go outside with a briefcase, what do you think people will think about me? Oh, he's probably a businessman. Oh, he's probably going to do some kind of work. Oh, he's probably going to do some. Okay, he's probably going to a meeting. If I dress in power gloves, because the ones that they used to fix the power cables, and I have an overall, and I have a shirt. Okay, and I'm walking in the street, they probably say he works as a lineman.
That's a false equivalent.
No, it is a way that you know that you're doing this.
Can I demonstrate how it's a false equivalent, Emmet? It's a false equivalent because you're saying that somebody looks like they're dressed for a certain job. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is what's going on in their head, their mood, their thoughts. That's what I'm saying. If I see somebody who's dressed like a construction worker, I'm
sometimes you can
see probably a construction worker. That's a false hypothetical, Emmet.
Okay, let's say, oh God, I don't want to do this. No, I'm not going to do this.
False equivalent, yeah.
The way that you dress usually has some kind of demonstration of the way that you feel in some senses, except for some people. It's not easy to get. It's not easy to get it. Yeah, usually, of course. It's not all the time.
You made a affirmative statement by saying if somebody dresses like this, I know what's going on in their head. But now you're saying usually you're smuggling in language.
No, you say
arbitrary.
The question was, can you know what they're thinking on the way that they're dressing? And the answer is yes, I can. Doesn't mean always, by the way.
That's crazy. No, I would say no. Yeah. Well, hold on, Emmet. If you don't know anything like this, like what's in it, Vic, trust me, I'm going to get back to the prop real quick. I just have to ask this real quick. What you're saying is like, I know what they're thinking, but I'm not saying always. Like, can you demonstrate how you know what they're thinking?
Yes. Let's say that I see a person.
They're wearing black clothes, but they're not smiling. You know what they're thinking? Can you reconcile this for me or make that make sense?
They have completely black clothes. They have the ribbon. Okay. I know for a fact that they're sad and they're missing the person that they just lost. That's simple.
You know for a fact, and you know that they lost somebody without talking to them. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't need to. If I see somebody like that in the middle of the street, I'm gonna be like, you know what? Yeah, if I see them in the middle of the street, you know, and I'm walking by, I'm gonna be, you know what? I'm gonna be like your salesman. I'm gonna be like, hey, I got the thing for you. Would you like to buy a coffin? Okay.
Are you doing
this vampire got you the best coffin you can get. That's what I would do.
Are you doing this debate just
because I'm a Jew vampire too, by the way?
Hey guys, the debate, the timer went off like 20 minutes ago. I kind of let you guys go a little bit longer.
That's crazy. Emmet's mind reader is crazy.
But I think you guys are kind of talking past each other a little bit, because I kind of see what you're both are saying in a way. Like I understand where like Martae is coming from. You can't tell what someone's thinking by what they're wearing. For instance, like you can't tell if I'm in a good or bad mood just because I'm wearing this Oasis shirt. However, I think what Emmet is saying that, by judging by the way Vic Stress, he's wearing a hat and he's wearing an Oasis shirt, he could tell that, I like rock music or I like Oasis or something or whatever like that. You know, I think
it's chilling.
No, I got that part.
Chilling, you know, yeah,
it's chilling.
So, and I think I understand what you guys are both saying. I think you guys are talking a little bit past each other a little bit, you know, but. Yeah, that was the debate, guys. I don't know.
The whole point about this is that
you didn't bring out a rat uterus, and I'm happy about that. But Vic, there needs to be a rat uterus song, and I'm depressed that there isn't one that doesn't exist. It's crazy.
This is for bringing the rat uterus, okay? That's for bringing the rat uterus. Don't bring the rat uterus into a debate.
I actually got to write that down because I've been trying to think of new song ideas, and I was like, rat uterus book. I actually forgot about that. So.
Yeah, the rat uterus book song needs to be a thing, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna write that down and I'm gonna make that.
Vic, maybe you can have a mini poll for this debate too.
Oh, I already did. I had 2, but people wanted more options, so I put 2. But Martae won the first one, but then I redid it again. And the winners were us, the Cooliverse, officially. But in terms of both you guys,
I'll take it.
Martae won. So the fans
have
spoken, the people have spoken. Martae
you believe in a lie, okay? You believe in a lie. You should talk to your
people
priest.
Believe lies?
Do people believe lies? Yes.
Do people that believe
lies
in lies
true?
exist?
Are lies true?
Wait, hold on. Do people that believe in lies exist?
People believe in lies exist, yes.
So racists exist. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Racism is a lie. Wait. Racism is a lie, right?
Yeah, people believe in racism.
If it's a lie, would it have ontology?
Lies don't need so racism doesn't have to have an ontology to exist.
Racism doesn't need to have an ontology to exist?
No, I've already demonstrated that in the beginning of the debate.
So you're pretty much saying that hate has an ontology. Then it exists.
No, I'm saying that the
ontology. Do you understand what ontology is?
Ideal belief.
Do you understand what ontology is?
Yes, but I'm not going to get into it. Hey, Vic.
Oh, you're not going to get into this. Oh, wow. Debate, I see, Martae. I see.
No, Emmet, no. You think you got something, you don't, bro. Let's keep moving.
Well, I agree with you. Racism exists, but it's great.
I like you convinced a lot. You're a cool person, despite the fact that you brought kryptonite to a black fight. That's insane, bro. And
really well, now I know what I need to go. When I go to the cribs and the other guys, they're gonna be like, "Hey, we're gonna beat you up," and they're just gonna take out the fried chicken. It's gonna be like, "Hey,
bro, you'd be shocked at how good that's gonna work." I guarantee all the blocks will hit the floor. Because they hold it. Hold on, they hold it sideways anyway, so it's gonna fall flat and nothing's gonna get fired off. You're good. Yeah.
Give me all your money. Right. I have something better.
That's how you disarm black. That's how you disarm us, bro. Just bring out the fried chicken, bro. You're good.
Just like throw it somewhere and they're all just run that direction. It's like there, it's over there. Go get it.
I'm not gonna lie. I would probably die
like
too.
A T-Rex. The T-Rex scene.
Oh yeah, Jurassic Park. Just throw it.
Yeah, that probably would happen. To be honest with you, yeah. So.
Oh yeah. Well, this was a good debate between two Palestinians here. I was
Palestinians is crazy.
Yeah, free Palestine, huh? But yeah, no. This was good stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I said, I think you guys are both great debaters. I think you guys are both smart dudes. So I was really happy to see you guys. You know, it's like, you know, sometimes it gets boring. Well, it doesn't always. It's not boring, but, you know, it's more interesting when you see actually two smart guys go at it and not just some smart guy, you know, destroying a left or, you know, a brain dead lefty. You know what I mean? So that's what I liked about this one, you know. It's like seeing Brock Lesnar go up against Bill Goldberg, you know.
Yeah.
Instead of just like Brock Lesnar destroying some jobber.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. I liked it. Wasn't bad at all, man. Yeah, I appreciate you letting me up on the panel, Vic. I wanted to say that too. Thanks for letting me up on the panel to do this debate with Emmet, because I did want to do this. I didn't want to back down from this. Greenberg gang, bro, you got to have the chicken in your name. That's insane, bro. So Emmet, I appreciate you for, God, man, this guy with the green kryptonite is crazy. I appreciate you for meeting me on Battleground and being a good opponent. You were, the end though, you lost me. It went off the rails, bro, about you being clairvoyant, but hey, you know what?
I'm not clairvoyant. It's just like basic identifiers. If you're identifying something, if I have a thing that says if I wear the hoodie, if I wear the white hoodie and I look like a ghost, you're gonna be like, yeah, this is my best friend. He loves to have some melanin next to him, right? It's like, no, it identifies that I have a little bit of a problem with black culture and I don't really like it much, and I'm probably gonna do some violence against it, right?
That would be an assumption. Yeah, we can make an assumption, but I wouldn't know this. I wouldn't have a definitive knowledge about what's going on in your head.
So when your grandma was telling you we gotta move because there's people, you know, because there's ghosts next to us and they have a little bit of a rock, she was just assuming. Yeah, she was just assuming that they were gonna be like very nice people, right? Instead of, you know, knowing that they were gonna use those rocks to brick her.
Well, hold on.
To brick her on the head. Right?
Being a kid growing up and being attacked by the KKK as a kid was crazy, though. I will say that was crazy. We were the last state to get MLK Day. And I remember when that happened. I think Symington was like the governor at the time. And yeah, that was crazy. I didn't know who the ghosts were. And my grandma was trying to be all tough and strong black woman or whatever that was. So yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, I read minds because I see the ghosties and I'm like, these guys fucking hate these guys. Like, oh my god, must be clairvoyant.
I was a kid and I didn't know. I said, Grandma, why are they doing this? And I didn't know because I couldn't read minds, thus proving my point that we can't read the minds of even people who are racist
because you didn't have lack of knowledge. But I assure you this, next time you saw a ghostie, you were like, oh, I know what this means. Right?
No, I still wouldn't know what
you have the identifier now.
It could be racist. It couldn't be. I don't know what they are because I can't read minds, but I do know what an action is. Yeah.
You have the identifier. You went on, you see the ghost, and you're like, oh, I hate them because they're wearing white. It was, no, I don't like them because I have an identifier that they belong to the KKK, right?
It would make sense that I can act on an assumption, but I don't know what's going on in their head, and I don't know exactly what they are. But I'm always making an assumption until they verbally say this or demonstrate this. Is that not correct?
No, I don't think so. I think there are moments that you can actually act. This happens all the time in law enforcement too.
Tonight, this is crazy.
No, you do it.
Don't do his,
you do it. You do it in law enforcement all the time. When you see a person with a handgun, you don't know if it's gonna shoot at you, but you see it and you're like, hey, you better drop it down. And if it doesn't, what happens? They pew 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 him. Okay. And
yeah, but that proves
it's totally understandable. You don't know if he's gonna do it or not. You don't really know.
Through the demonstration, we know this. Through demonstration, through practice and training. That's all demonstration.
He didn't say anything.
The mind of the suspect that we're talking to.
He didn't say anything. He just having his hand. How do you know? How do you know what it's going to do? Oh my God! This is very lefty coded. The poor little baby with the little pew pew was not going to do anything. We have to let him go. It was the police that was mean.
You do, Emmet. So, I mean, regardless of that, I mean, approach will always determine response. We can look at this and it's like, I mean, these are just examples. We can't read minds. I'll just say that.
I'm not saying that I can read minds. I say that I can get identifiers for the things they're wearing. I can get identifiers for the things they're doing. I don't need to actually listen to them to be like, hey. And even when I listen to them, the way that the word works, it's not like, oh, I hate you because you're black. That just means, oh, I hate the black color. Which, by the way, you're not, because nobody is black except some kind of race in some places.
Grandpa Mustard. Yeah, see, that's what it was.
Emmet,
like,
50 years from now, people. Like 50 years from now.
Nice.
How does that? He has your nose and everything, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's Grandpa. That's Grandpa.
Yeah, Grandpa Monster.
Dead on the note, bro. You should be in for Halloween next year. Accurate cosplay, bro.
Next year. Yeah. Well, this year.
You would rock, bro. And then you find out how less depressed you are because now you're a part of the happy family that wears all black and doesn't smile. Well, he was smiling in that picture. It's probably just a photo, but they normally don't smile. But they're happy. They're not depressed.
Yeah, I know.
Vic, I thought that was a pretty cool reference to counter his point on wearing all black and never smiling means you're depressed. Like, I thought that was a pretty good point I brought up. So,
oh yeah, no, definitely. But
you didn't talk past me because I thought you were talking about an actual person. I was like, well, that would be a retarded person. Then we need to put them in the mental asylums. And you know what? The Addams family belong to the mental asylums anyway. So yeah.
No, they don't. They're badass. I love the Addams family.
They did. The reason why they added the Addams family was because they wanted to have a darker comedy that was more on the darker side, and it had to do with the sexual revolution. So,
wait, the Addams family?
Read it.
Sexual revolution.
Yeah,
read it. Hold on. The people that were covered up the whole time and never wore anything skimpy were.
They were talking a lot about having, they were talking. They were
the first part of the sexual revolution. Sorry.
Yes, it was the first. It was the first show that was talking. Well, it was dark comedy too. It was done late at night, and the reason why because they have open talks about sexual stuff.
Yeah,
they didn't necessarily were showing off the thing, but it was part of the subversion of the culture when it came to what they wanted to do.
Huh, interesting. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, if that's true, I didn't know that either. So,
but I love the Addams Family. Don't get me wrong. It's really cool, and I think it's a great show. But it's part of the subversion of the culture too.
Yeah, I think it was a cool show for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Damn TV. Damn TV.
Damn you.
Yeah, damn TV.
Damn you, TV. Entertain me.
Yeah, I know, right? Now entertain me now.
Have you TV? Entertain me.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty then, guys. Well, thank you very much for coming on and having this debate. It was highly enjoyable, man. let everybody know where we can find you guys. Let's see, Martae, you can go first.
First of all, I'd like to know if there's like going to be a mini debate review of this debate. And then second of all, I'm wondering why my face doesn't ever change. I'm always like, anytime you do like a photo, I'm like, dude, I have other expressions other than like, I'm happy I saw some chicken at Emmet's house today. Like, you know, you can definitely do way different. Like, how about the serious mark? Like, just, you know, I'm the guy that swings on trees and loves bananas and eats watermelon. How about that face? I'll give you it right now. There you go. We can do that. I think I got the whatever caption. Else. You know, just ask me for. I think I got the caption. Because I'm like, I'm happy with First Amender like this. That's crazy. I saw that.
Because you're whooping him so bad, and you're just doing it casually. You're happy about it, and he's like seething about it, you know. But I do.
I see how you're twisted it. Cool. You know what? It's cool though. Just.
But what about my rat? What about my rat?
Yeah, you know, what about my rat uterus book? You know.
But what about my rat? I have a book.
You guys can find me on the Martae Rayless at OTE on the Edge. I'm also on X at Mighty Martae and _ at the Real Mighty Mouse on Instagram. I'd like to thank my fabulous mods, Paige, Relentless, and Miss D in the chat. They're all based, by the way. Thank them. They deserve all the credit. Backstage, they help me. They do makeup, prep me, and then I'm just playing bullshit. You see how I just made you make an assumption? Right there. Oh, maybe they do help him out. But anyways, I don't want to like prove my point anymore throughout this debate. I appreciate you, Emmet, for showing up. I respect you a lot as an opponent. We always BS together, and this is pretty cool. Vic, I appreciate the fact that you do moderate and you do excellent commentary as well too. You're like a savant when it comes to commentary. I've told my chat that too. But anyways, that's it.
Well, thank you very much, Martae. Emmet, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me at Count Emmet. It's right there. So if you want to see me, I usually go ahead and yesterday with the slap count, we're probably going to continue the slap count. We're going to the trillions of slaps between from when it came to Grace and Malik and Shaniqua and whoever else was in that panel. You know, CP or whatever.
Oh, yeah, CP. Yeah,
CP cast on his channel. That's what you said.
It's apparently EBT. And just to demonstrate, finally, in my last words, that I can have an identifier depending on what I look at. Just look at the amount of cope that's gonna happen when I show these because he's black. That's the only reason. So I assume it, and it was true.
Oh. My bad. Oh, this is porn. This is magazine. My bad.
Oh.
Hold on, real quick. While
the Addams family is not as slutty apparently anymore.
Oh, who's that in Iron Man magazine? I have like a box of these, by the way. Like,
nice.
You shouldn't be showing that, Martae. There's gonna be a full-on panel tomorrow.
Can I be of a different orientation when I'm like the next page from this girl giving out workout information? Anyways,
Martae, there's going to be a full-on panel
for Dusty, Martae.
Yeah. Tomorrow there's going to be a full panel about thirst.
Yeah, I know, right?
This is like $350. It's called Blacks and Whites. They have the ghetto neighborhood and the white neighborhood. And if you get a chance card, you can get a strange disease where you turn black for 3 turns and you lose all your property and you end up in jail for like 3 turns. And then this is like $350. A professor designed this game to prove that racist does exist and how this systematic function works. Matter of fact, if you're black, you go on the board twice and you don't collect $200. You don't get anything, while whites get the first chance to do everything on this board. So anyways, this was demonstrated.
Crazy.
Well, a physicist told me,
because this was probably one of the only last copies they had.
Well, a physicist told me that God's not real, so God must not be real, right? Because it was a professor.
Anyways, Blacks and Whites is a real game, by the way, that does exist, and it does have racism. This game is banned, by the way. This game is extremely banned because it's super racist. So, yeah. You guys can Google it. It's literally a real thing. I showed it to you right now.
I feel so bored, yeah.
You should have a let's play with that.
Thanks so much, Beak, for the debate. Thanks so much, Martae, for the debate.
The black neighborhoods are the only one. The liquor stores, Like literally that's what it is. Like if you go to the white section, they have like nicer neighborhoods. There's no dumps. In the black neighborhoods, there's like liquor stores, pawn shops. They only have pawn shops in the black neighborhoods and stuff. It's like crazy. Yeah.
And if they put Indians in that game, there would be dumps everywhere, all over the board. If you know
so
what I mean.
What does this say right here? I'll even show it to you guys real quick. The police station. What does that say?
Whites 10,000. Blacks held one turn for questioning.
I mean, I would. So let me be honest.
Whites pay $10,000 bond to the bank; they can get out. Blacks are held one turn for questioning. So this game is like one of the most racist games ever.
I'm gonna be honest, Martae. I'm gonna be honest.
Monopoly, and I own it. So.
Let me be honest about this, okay? If this about I'm gonna be held for one turn for questioning or paying $10,000, I'm gonna be held. I'm gonna be held for questioning.
Cheaper.
There's no way you fucking hell that I'm gonna be out there and be like, oh yo, here is the money. No, fuck that. Emmet. I want my shekels. They're my shekels. Question me all you fucking want. Shekels for the win, okay?
So Emmet, does this board game exist in reality?
Well, I don't know if it exists in reality because all I'm seeing is an image on a screen, so I cannot be completely sure if it exists in reality or not. Yeah.
You guys don't want to see me play racist Monopoly? I think, Pumpkinhead, that would be a cool stream to watch. I should play racist Monopoly for the people who are watching it. It'll be me versus Emmet. I'll even let you move the board to the racist Monopoly.
I'm the worst. I'm the worst when it comes to Monopoly, but yeah, that would be good. That would be cool stream.
So just to educate Vic's stream, I guarantee nobody else knew that racist Monopoly exists. It does exist. Therefore, racism does exist.
I mean, Warhammer 40K exists. So.
Yeah. So if that's racist Monopoly exists, racism exists. Now you know that racist Monopoly is a thing. There you go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's play.
It'd have to be Emmet.
Is Emmet the banker? I am.
Yeah, Emmet Witz. Emmet
would be the banker. Yeah. Emmet Witz. Yeah.
With his tiny hat. But alrighty, guys. Well, thank you very much for coming on the stream. Great debate, guys. Yeah. Oh, he's got the tiny hat. He's got his banker uniform on.
No wonder why I feel so oppressed right now, and he has kryptonite. It's all coming together now. This is.
Do you want a little loan? We can give you a little loan for $10,000. A loan of $10,000
for a drum of chicken.
Would you like a little loan? Chicken. You can get some.
I'm low IQ enough to pay for this drum of chicken. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Give me those.
Let's do it, bro. 10,000 for a drum of chicken. Yes, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
Deal. You see how racism exists? Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hell yeah. It definitely does. But thank you very much, guys. I'll catch you guys all later.
All right, take it easy, guys. I'm out of here.
Take it easy.
Later. All right. Well, there you have it. The great racism debate between Emmet and Martae, the Muscle Man versus the Bird Man. I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. No, there will not be a review of this debate, but I will repost it, though. So be on the lookout for that. I'll probably post that up today. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. It'll get posted up soon. I actually had no idea about that black and white Monopoly. That's freaking crazy. Good debate should have me glue to the screen, yeah.